Welcome to Health Source of Paducah, Kentucky. Today's topic, chiropractic care for sports injuries. While sports are recognized as an important step as part of the body's physical activity, many do not take proper care of their bodies when engaging in such activity. With the different kinds of sports injuries, chiropractic care is valuable as a method of preventing and treating sports injuries. Tendinosis. There are a number of overuse syndromes where overuse of a particular joint or joints in the body results in one of these conditions. Tendinosis is a common injury where the tendon becomes inflamed from overuse. This condition is especially common in the forms of tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. Strains and sprains. Strains and sprains are two of the most common sports injuries. A strain refers to an acute twisting or overextension of a joint which can lead to tears of muscles and tendons. A sprain is like a strain, which is distinguishable as the same type of activity which leads to tears of ligaments. Stress fractures. A stress fracture occurs when an abnormal amount of stress is placed on a bone. Also called fatigue fracture, a stress fracture often occurs in runners who add a large amount of mileage to their training or when those who exercise overdo their training, especially in running. Chiropractic treatment. Your chiropractor will examine the best course of treatment for your sports injury. You will receive information on rest, ice or heat, compression, and elevation when these are applicable for your injury. Also, recent research has demonstrated the effectiveness of joint manipulation in pain reduction and recovery rates. Your chiropractor will help you with all of these areas in efforts to help you recover. This is especially beneficial in light of medications in which some anti-inflammatory drugs can slow the healing process. Chiropractic treatment will allow you to properly handle your sports injury. Chiropractic prevention. One huge benefit to having contact with a chiropractor care provider is in the prevention of sports injuries. In addition to other unrelated conditions, chiropractic care is largely based on preventative medicine and the overall wellness of your body. If you're participating in sports, having contact with your chiropractor can go a long way in preventing a sports injury. Your chiropractor will also be able to help you gear your training towards healthy habits and reasonable goals so that you won't put your body in danger. Contacting your chiropractor care provider. If you do not see a chiropractic care provider, you should consider this important step towards your body's well-being. Whether you are suffering from a sports injury or are training currently or prospectively, a chiropractor can help you safely recover or train. Contact your chiropractor if you're suffering from a sports injury. Chiropractic care will enable you to safely treat the affected injury and to help prevent future injuries. If you do not currently see a chiropractor, you should consider this. Whether you have a strict or loose training regimen, see a chiropractor to help prevent sports injuries from occurring and to help with your training goals. For more information on topics like this, go to www.kentucky.healthsourcechiro.com/city/Paducah.